Nigeria is home to 35 million smallholder farmers. Unfortunately, these farmers are at the bottom of the economic ladder and live in a vicious cycle of poverty. Without access to storage facilities and structured marketing systems, these farmers move from a season of abundance at harvest, leading to wastages and selling surplus food at rock-bottom prices, to scarcity during the lean season, only to buy again at a multiple of what they sold for.
There is
serious problem storing my harvest. I could never get enough value for the produce because there's nowhere to store except in our home. First of all, it is often attacked by rats, bugs, and other insects.
Bitrus Soho Fulani farms maize and sorghum in Kurminkogi, Kaduna State, Nigeria. His business isn't thriving as it should for a number of reasons. At harvest time, Bitrus has very limited access to current prices because middlemen control the value he receives rather than the market itself. He can't negotiate very high prices for his goods because he doesn't have the storage capacity to hold on to them until the market price is right. Bitrus is also limited by how well and how far he can distribute his products to locations that will yield maximum value. Also, he is unable to utilize the value of his produce to raise funds, expand, or restructure his operations.
When I farm, I get about 15 bags. From it, I save up for the next planting season and what we will eat. Then, I try to save for eventualities like sickness. Being a family man, I need to care for my wife, buy her wrappers and other fancy things women like. I also desired for my children to go to school since I'm not educated, but it wasn't easy.
AFEX Nigeria is providing solutions to the challenges farmers face in aggregation, storage, financial inclusion, and selling of their products. AFEX is knocking off the barriers that hold the Nigerian farmer back and make him perpetually uncompetitive and small.
70% of our workforce in Nigeria are farmers. There is a big lending class that is excluded in the current capital structure of the country. So by refining this market and creating structures and organizing the farmers in groups, in cooperatives, in unions, you will find that you're unlocking a new asset class that lenders can lend to, but also buyers can do business with, can create jobs, can create a lot of non-farming jobs around quality assurance, aggregation, trading.
A combination of AFEX's outreach framework, aggregation model, and warehouse receipt system creates a local and national food buffer which enables the farmer to save his surplus harvest regardless of the size and volume of food produced. It also enables a structured trading solution where his products can form part of a large order being fulfilled by thousands of similar other small farmers. Bitrus is the reality of an average farmer before he meets AFEX.
I would like to call on my fellow farmers, especially those who are yet to register with AFEX, to do so, because AFEX is a great help and support.
When AFEX came, they came with good news that they could give us good quality fertilizers, and they did. They also showed us how to store our grains with them without any issues. No matter the number of bags we needed to keep, we also exchanged our grains for fertilizer. I didn't even need to go to the market to make profit anymore.
In fact, I want to sincerely appreciate AFEX. I don't know who has introduced them to our community here. If when AFEX come here, if our people had foresight, we would have seen the entire community here jubilating now. Our people are even crying that they didn't know they would have joined us, because it was on a platter of gold. But the fact that we didn't know, many of them couldn't join us. So in fact, there's a very big difference. We have gotten a very bumper harvest this year.
AFEX's service offering is hinged on three pillars: secure storage, warehouse receipt system, and trading of agricultural commodities. AFEX is also known for its robust farmer outreach programs. AFEX is Nigeria's first private commodities exchange, establishing a network of warehouses that run the electronic warehouse receipt systems, offering collateral and inventory management services, agricultural financing services, and commodity trading.
In this business, we are primarily promoting a trust economy around commodities. And this means that the buyers and sellers do not have to meet to know that they have the right quality of products in storage and that the transactions will be settled cash-wise. Typically, a transaction is made up of the demand side, where you have the processors and exporters of agricultural commodities. Then you have the supply side, where you have the farmers, smallholder farmers, the traders, and the merchants that deal in the value chain.
AFEX foresees a Nigeria with increased income and livelihood of smallholder farmers, an advanced and competitive agricultural sector in Nigeria, and a commodity market with price discovery and risk management mechanisms.
AFEX, they supply a very good fertilizer. In terms of storage, the way I have seen the store, there are a lot of good ventilation, which will, I think, will keep the grains in good shape.
The coming of AFEX to our community has helped us a lot. Now we know how to bag our produce and weigh them appropriately to get the best value in price. I'm very grateful that AFEX came here, because what we'd never experienced before in our community, we now experience.
AFEX, through its electronic warehouse receipt system and collateral management service, will secure stored commodities, and farmers can use the receipts generated as collateral for loans, effectively revolutionizing the storage and financing within the sector.
My team is responsible for creating the accesses on the warehouse receipt platform, as well as creating the warehouse receipts for users who have stored products in the warehouses. So the users might be interested in getting finance on the product they've stored, or they want to trade at a future date with the commodities they've stored. So once they've indicated either of those interests, we'll go ahead to create the warehouse receipts for them, which they can use to trade on the exchange.
My job is to create the business, ensure profitability, and ensure return to both the economic and social impact of the business. Return to shareholders, but also create the value to the entire ecosystem, farmers, processors, and everybody in between the two. It's to drive. My job involves creating the team culture, ensuring that the company works as a team, and also that we are set on our growth plan and trajectory, both within Nigeria and across the region.
Key responsibilities as a commercial officer is to read in volumes in terms of grains to the warehouse through the outreach channel and the village aggregator channel. The outreach channel consists of using the outreach officers at community level through sensitization and campaign to sell out our products in terms of spot sales, storage, and also fertilizer.
My responsibility as outreach officer is to go and mobilize the farmers, to register them, and to lead them to bring their grains to the warehouses, either for storage or for sale.
Properly managed AFEX warehouse facilities allow farmers to safely store their harvest without worrying about the loss of value until market prices are favorable. AFEX manages the entire storage chain, including all intake procedures, product grading, and fumigation. AFEX is known for quality because of their intensive cleaning system. They determine the moisture content of any commodity brought into the warehouse, and from there, project the most appropriate duration of storage.
The three major activities that take place in the warehouse include: one, storage, whereby farmers bring in their input, store for a particular period of time, and when they're in need, they come to pick, or better still, they sell back to us. Then secondly, spot sell, whereby farmers bring in their grain for cash. And thirdly, swapping, whereby farmers bring in their grain for inputs such as fertilizer and chemicals.
I ensure that there's transparency in the process. The warehouse managers account for stock appropriately, and then we also ensure that we follow the laid down rules of our regulators. And for finance, I also ensure that payments are done as and when due to the farmers, because when farmers bring grains to the warehouse, we also ensure that payment is done very fast, as fast as possible.
AFEX operates an electronic market where participants can buy and sell products from the convenience of their offices or trade from trading terminals provided by the exchange. The trading platform is powered by NASDAQ OMX and has a client application which is installable to clients' computer systems. The trading platform can facilitate auctions, spot trading, as well as forwards and futures contract trading.
Now, the capital market is way broader than just the trading platform. You have the financial market, you have the investors, you have the banks, and the deposit money banks, and different types of banks that are also providing credit. What we do is to create a bankable assets with very low risk flavor around it, that a bank can, for instance, lend against the warehouse receipts, and the product serves as a collateral, and then you can have a structured trade finance industry evolve. And then if you have a structured trade finance with the right type of capital going to agriculture, then you can have a demand-led growth for agricultural sector.
In Nigeria, the AFEX business will directly increase income of over 500,000 farmers by up to 500% by the year 2020. It will create an excess of 50,000 new non-farming jobs across the value chain, adding $1.5 billion in new wealth across northern Nigeria and up to $100 million in cost savings to processing companies. Up to $3 billion of informal trading will be added to the economy, with increased traceability and tax income to the states and the federation.
AFEX,
Mungode.
Thank you.
Basa!